culture of where that you don't put up with that kind of stuff.
When you say you don't put up with it, does that begin with recruiting? Do you go in and you look at the kid, and if you think the kid's not going to bend to your will, because that's what it's all about, bending to you and your coaching staff's will?
I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is that I took a year off of coaching and went around and studied some of the great coaches out there. And the common denominator is the CEO or head football coach creates a culture that's non-existent. And if you can't create that, it's more difficult now than it's ever been. And the use of the social media nonsense and everything else, but that can't be done at the team level. We call something 9 strong that has to be done within each unit on the team.
9 strong?
9 strong.
What does that mean?
Well, there's 4 units on defense. You got defensive line, linebackers, corners and safeties. Offense, you got quarterbacks, receivers, tight ends, running backs, and offensive line. And it's a militaristic, it's small unit cohesion. Every G.K.Chesterton, one of the great quotes of all time, in 1900 says, "The soldier does not fight for the hatred of those in front of him, but the love of those behind him."
So you try to create a militaristic atmosphere where each player is looking out for the other player in his unit. Okay. But you know the temptations that these kids are subjected to. Big-time star in Columbus, Ohio. You got drugs, you got women, you got gambling, you got everything. Agents who are peddling a line. You don't need to stay there only 1 year or something like that. How do you get through to those kids? You might, because it's a one-on-one thing with you, is it not?
Absolutely. No, it's not. It's the unit. It's if those kids are going to if you can find a kid with self-discipline, self-respect, and incredible work ethic, that's an elite, that's a Tebow. That's a J.T. Barrett. The other group of kids have to make decisions for a reason. Why is that? The quote I just used, because they have so much confidence, they're so close, the family atmosphere within each unit will drive it. They do it. And not all the time.
Do you wash a lot of them out? Do you wash a lot of kids who won't do it out?
I've never been this particular in my life as I am now recruiting. I ask the hard questions.
So you don't want an infection on the team. Now, a lot of the big-time teams have trouble. You know, they have kids that are in trouble for one reason or another. Look at Jameis Winston down in Florida State. He steals some crab legs or something. But the guy's a brilliant quarterback, so they let it go down there. I don't think you would have let it go, right?
It would have been hard to let that go.
All right, so you would have gotten rid of him. But you still succeed on your own terms. Whereas other colleges, sometimes they don't want to discipline the big stars because there's too much at stake. What separates you from them?
Well, we've had our issues over the past few years. When I was at Florida, we had some issues. We've had some issues at Ohio State. I had a star tailback get in trouble a couple years ago. And once again, it goes back to creating that culture when it doesn't exist. Now, that's somewhat Camelot because it's always going to be there. But the thing that what this book is a tribute to that group last year. I've never quite had one like that.
All right, so you're putting that up as the exemplar, that this is the way it should be.
The template.
Right, and then how you gonna, all these kids have to read it? Is that, you gotta read your book? No. Well, you gotta do sprints.
They live it.
See,
they live it, they hear it nonstop, and
all right, Coach, well, can't argue with your success, and you know, Ohio State is a fine example of people working together, and we appreciate you coming in.
Been watching it for many years. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Coach.